Good evening. Good evening. I pray that all is well with you guys. So, I just wanted to share something with you guys really, really quick, okay? So, you guys, um, it's an episode of Law and Order that I watched, okay? And it was the one with Ludacris on it. It was an old episode. He played a teenager and he was raised by his grandmother. His grandmother had passed away, okay? And he got into trouble a lot, okay? And so once his grandmother passed, they brought his mom into the picture, okay? And so basically his mom wasn't in his life, okay? And so she rejected him, like she wasn't in his life, like at all. At all. She wasn't in his life. She didn't raise him at all. And it turns out the reason why she wasn't in his life was because he was a product of her being raped. Can I say that? Or her being sexually assaulted, or what they say, essayed. Okay. He was a product of that. Okay. And so she left him with his grandmama, honey, and she left and she went and she created a whole new life for herself. Okay. And so but then it brought her back into the picture, and it brought her like back to him. The episode, the series did, the episode that I was watching, anyway, she came back to him, and basically you could tell in her face that she really hated him. She really hated him. And you guys, it was so sad. Like, she hated him. And then I had to think, I was like, it's not him that she hates. It's not him that she hates. It's what he reminds her of that she hates. So it's like every time she look at him, she sees his father. She's every time he looks at him, she looks at him, she goes back to what happened to her. She goes back to that hurt, that pain. She has to relive that trauma all over again. And I don't know, it just made me think, you guys, it's like sometimes we are rejected by people, and sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with us because he didn't do anything but be born. That's all he did. He was just born. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes we're rejected by people, and we get to the point to where we feel like their rejection towards us has something to do with us. We internalize their rejection towards us, and it's like, no, it don't have anything to do with you, because sometimes you get to the point to where you're like, what's wrong with me? Why don't this person like me? What did I do to them? What about me they don't like? Like, what's wrong with me? And it's like, sometimes it's not you at all. Sometimes you just remind them of a traumatic part of their lives. Okay? It don't always have to do with you. Sometimes remind them of something that they're trying to bury. Okay? You remind them of something a trauma that they haven't even begun healing from. And that's just it, you guys. So we have to learn to not take what other people feel about us personal. Okay. And so, and then I don't know. You have to learn to not take what other people feel towards you personal. And then it's like, I feel like, that's his mom. I'm sure there was a part of, appeared in his life to where he loved his mom. But then he got to the point to where he's like, he resented her because it's like, I don't think I did was to be born. That's it. And you left me. You rejected me. And I was a child needing his mother. And all I did was to be born. But those unhealed traumas, what happened to you is what caused you to reject me, and what caused you to go where you went and created a whole new life outside of me trying to bury your pain and your trauma. Okay, so we don't want to bury things, you guys, because everything has this way of resurfacing. Okay, so we don't want to bury them. We want to expose them. We want to expose it. Like, you have to get counseling, you have to get therapy, you guys, and that's just it. So I was listening to something, and it was saying basically, you have to expose some wounds in order to heal them. Okay, so if I get a scrape or something, a cut or something, whatever, and it's constantly covered by a bandage. It's constantly covered by a bandage. It holds that moisture in, whatever. I mean, I'm not a doctor or whatever, but some stuff you want to keep covered until it reaches like a certain level of healing, and then you can expose it and let it finish healing. But you eventually you have to expose it. Eventually you have to let it breathe, honey, so that it can heal. And so that goes with your wounds as well as your traumas. Okay, sometimes you have to and it's not, healing hurts. Healing hurts, you guys. So in order for us to heal from it, we have to expose it. We have to let it out. We have to get out those feelings and emotions that comes attached with it. Okay, because have you guys ever felt like you were over something, or you were over someone, and it's like you didn't realize that you wasn't over them or you wasn't over healed from what they did to you until you saw them. And once you saw them, long as they out of sight, out of mind, everything was good. You buried it. You buried those emotions, out of sight, out of mind. I don't see you. I'm going to keep busy over here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to create this whole new life over here without you in it. But all this other stuff, all that is doing is like covering up what's really hurting. Okay. But once it's really exposed, once you see that person that has hurt you and has caused you trauma, then that's when those feelings and emotions and hurt and pain really comes back, because all this time you haven't healed from it. Okay. So what we have to do is, if you're on the end to where, and everybody got something to heal that I need to heal from. Okay. So whatever. So if you're on the end to where you are the person being rejected, I just want you to know that it's not always you. It's not always you. Sometimes you just remind people of a hurtful period in their life that they're trying to forget and that they need to heal from. So don't go breaking down the door trying to, let people heal. Let people heal. So if I remind you of a hurtful period in your life, then okay, you can take me in bits and pieces and I'm okay with it. But know that it don't change the way I feel about you. You know what I'm saying? But if you taking me in bits and pieces is what's going to help you with your healing, then I'm okay with it. Okay? Because I've had to go through some stuff. I have to go through some stuff on my own. I had to heal from some things as well. I had to get to a place in my healing to where I was okay with being rejected by you. I had to get into a place in my healing to where I was okay with you accepting me in small pieces. Okay? Okay, but it don't change the way I feel about you, whatever. So, and then if you are on that other side to where it's like you are rejecting someone, because we all do it, out of sight, out of mind. Dealing with emotions are hard. Dealing with your feelings is hard. Healing from things is hard. It hurts. It takes time. It's a whole process. And a lot of times we don't want to go through that process. Okay, so I just encourage you to begin that healing process. Get your counseling, get your therapy, start that healing process, because you don't want to reject the people that's like closest to you. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And again, like, I don't know. I was just watching that, you guys, and I was like, that's so sad because I internalize everything. So it's like when I watch stuff, it's like I like put myself in those people's positions and in their shoes, and it's like, oh my God, that would hurt me so bad. So a lot of times, like, if I watch like sad movies, I don't know, like I feel it. When I watch stuff, I feel those emotions, and I don't like it because I cry like during movies and all that. I cry a lot during movies and stuff. So, and I'll be like, that would hurt me so bad. Ooh. But anyway, yeah, heal from some things. Heal from whatever it is you need to heal from. And if you're on that receiving end, you may need counseling as well. So you got some stuff you need to heal from as well. But know and understand that it's not you. Sometimes people have some stuff that they need to hear from outside of you. Sometimes you remind people of a part of their lives that they're trying to cover, that they're trying to forget, that they need healing from. Okay? If that makes sense, you guys. So that's all I wanted to say. You guys enjoy the rest of this day. Be blessed and be a blessing.